Greetings from Las Vegas. Today I'm going to do a pretty brief how-to or accessory add-on for a tail rack for the Triumph Scrambler 400X. It's a 2025. Now currently, initially, I thought I was gonna like this, but the way it's working out, I'm just not crazy about. So I have a little bag that I bought to carry around emergency stuff like puncture kit, first aid kit, air pump, things like that, some tools. And I had another strap here mounting it to the seat, and then this particular bag has some more straps that mount it to the rear grab rail, but it just, I don't know, it looks kind of goofy and it's a real pain in the butt to get it on and off. So I did a little looking around, and I'm not really crazy about Triumph's OEM tail rack. It's not bad. I mean, the price is reasonable, but it's got this aluminum, it's a black mounting pieces with a aluminum bare metal plate that goes on top, and I think they're hoping that you're going to put Triumph branded bags. Of course, that's what the objective is, and I just wasn't digging that. So it was a little too of a, I don't know, a little too modern feeling for me. So Hepco and Becker makes one that I really liked, but it was, I don't know, $250, something like that, maybe more, pretty pricey. And then they have a really cool looking leather bag that kind of goes with it, and that was going to be another $250 or so. So now we're talking about $500 plus for a toolkit on your bike. I'm okay with protective stuff like the skid plate and the crash bars. You're spending some more money to make sure you protect it, but it was getting kind of carried away. This is a $40 bag here that should be fine. So instead, from another company, another parts manufacturer called Tech, I found what really convinced me was, I don't know if he's the owner or one of the main guys at the company, has a video demonstrating this product. So this was, I don't remember what it was. It was about 120, 150, something like that delivered. The US, you can go to techbikeparts.com. There is a US office, and this came within a couple of days. So it's roughly half the price of the unit from Hepco and Becker. It's similar to the price of the Triumph OEM one. So but it retains the rear grab rail, and then it just adds a little mounting place to put the bag on the back. And it's really just remove the 4 bolts that are holding the grab rail in place with, what is it, a Torx T40, and then they provide the replacement bolts that are, I think these are 5 mil, yeah, Allen key, and you're done. So this should be really quick. So let me prop up the camera and get at it. They also say that in the instructions, you don't necessarily, let me get this removed. This one's simple. You don't have to remove the rear seat to do this, but they say it's a little easier because it can get in the way while you're doing it. And of course, removing the rear seat is super simple. Put in the key, rear seat pops right out. And I'll leave that back up there. That's the only thing I keep under the rear seat is a little Ziploc bag with my insurance and my registration, my paperwork, showing that the bike is legal. So we will start with the Torx. Oh, and it's the official Tech Speed 400, and this also works for the Speed 400 and Scrambler 400X luggage rack fitting guide. So we have the actual proper name on there. So you get these loosened Wow, those are really on there. Ooh. Well, the front one was at least. Get all 4 of them loosened up. I think we can cut me loosening bolts and go to the next. So here we are at the last bolt, and as we pop that off, grab rail comes right off. All 4 of these bolts were the same length. So when we go to put the luggage rack on from Tech Bike Parts, the front ones are a little smaller, and I'm going to just get these on to get everything lined up. I'll put on the thread lock in a moment. And these are, I think these are the 5mm. Yeah. The rear ones are 4mm Allen key. And they all have washers. Oh, come on. Get in there. There you go. And then there are these little spacers that go between the frame or the subframe and the luggage rack. And I'm going to assume that this is probably because maybe the, come on, is it through there? Oh yeah, it's through. The Speed 400, this is designed to work with the Scrambler 400X or the Speed 400. And maybe the Speed 400's frame is a little different. So they throw a spacer in there, and now they can mass produce these without having to have 2 different configurations for these, and same fits both. So, or that's just how they decided to do it, and I'm wrong. So let's see. That's about, it's loose on there, but see how it looks like with the seat. And this is the battery tender I relocated. This used to be on the left side of the bike, and I wasn't crazy about it. I was worried it was going to get wrapped up in the spring that wraps around the rear shock, so I rerouted it up here, and then it tucks neatly under the seat, which is pretty nice. And I prefer to have my charger on that side anyway. All right, so that's what it's going to look like. Not bad. You still have the grab handle. I haven't tightened it up yet, of course. And then a little space on the back for a bag like this one. Let's see how that's going to look. I still have to figure out how I'm going to actually strap this on here, but I imagine something like this. And then some other straps under the bottom. I'll make some custom straps for it, but whatever small bag you have on the back. That, I think, let's see. How's that gonna work? Oh, money, baby. I think that's gonna work out pretty good. That's what I'm looking for. And the license plate is still completely visible. The brake light is not obstructed at all. Oh, and by the way, this just, yeah, when you're, oops, oh, that's a little tighter. I'm gonna have to think about that. I guess I have to push it up that way. It's a little tighter than it was before getting the battery tender in there. It doesn't matter. So yeah, I think I like the way it's gonna look. I'm happier than I expected. Cool. All right, I'm gonna pause this for a moment and tighten everything up, and then give it a good one more quick once over, and we'll be done. All right, so last bolt, and how much? Little dab, because a little dab will do you. and a little bit of thread lock on there. And don't do like I did when I took this off. The washer went ka-chunk right down into the center of the wheel. I had to actually roll the bike forward a little bit before it tumbled out onto the floor. So I felt a little silly about that. They do have a torque spec included in their instructions, which is really nice. It's a rather low torque spec, and that's fine. It says 20 Newton meters, which translates to, I did a little Google search, 14.75 foot-pounds. So that's where this one is set. So Loctite's on there, or thread lock, whatever. So here we are, we're just about to the end, and of course, wait for the click, right? There it is. Okay, so that's about 20 Newton meters, 14.75 foot-pound. And then we can pop the seat back on again. And then let's give this a pull. Yeah, that's completely solid, just like the original grab handle was. So, like I said, I can throw my emergency toolkit bag on there, and I will be ready for hitting some of those dirt roads this weekend. So whatever I can get done this weekend, if the weather's not too lousy here, which there's potential for it. We'll see this little setup. I like it. I'm happy camper. So I'm pretty happy with the way this turned out, and I'm looking forward to hitting the dirt roads with it, and seeing if this manages to stay put, not go flying off. I'm sure it'll be fine though. So I'm going to call it quits on this one. Call this another complete small project. If you enjoy this kind of content, and I appreciate you watching all the way to the end of the video, don't forget to subscribe so you'll be notified of future videos. And until the next one, drive carefully and come back soon.